emerged as a global power, and sanctioning it would have huge economic ramifications.
Meanwhile, compared with the original proposal, this new draft would make sanctioning third countries more difficult here. A new paragraph in the draft was added saying that before making a proposal to include any third country on the list of countries concerned, alternative measures should be considered, such as individual listings as well.
And for more on this, we are now being joined by Lieutenant Colonel Daniel L. Davis from Sterling, Virginia. He is a military expert and senior fellow for defense priorities. Thanks very much, Colonel Davis, for speaking with us.
Thanks for having me.
Sir, let's begin by asking you, the European Union has proposed this new tool to limit trade with third countries. What can you tell us about the practical implications of this move?
I think what you're seeing here is evidence that many in Europe are starting to get to the point where they're saying, hey, this war in Ukraine needs to come to an end, because if it continues to have negative economic impacts on the various countries, then their people are starting to get a little bit tired of that, in honesty. And we've seen in many places, a lot of the people in these European countries are actually protesting against some of the measures that are going on. And they don't believe that their economies or their livelihoods need to be harmed because of it. Moreover, I think that they're starting to see that there's not much further Ukraine can go on the ground militarily. And so they're starting to look beyond this, and they don't want to have any punitive impacts now that could actually harm their trade in the short and medium term. They want to start looking beyond that. So they're going to make it more difficult to sanction people so that they can have an easier time to do trade, especially with China.
Right, sir. Another point here is that it appears that the EU is now, as you mentioned as well, trying to strike a balance, also prioritize striking a balance here when it comes to third countries. Beijing, as we know, has emerged as a major global power here. How effective do you think this move would be when it comes to taking a strong position, especially in the backdrop of the war in Ukraine?
I don't think that they're going to. I don't think the European Union is going to strike a hard position